Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be adding some some collage images to canvas pages, or in this case a canvas pencil case. So I'm starting off with some clear gesso, and I've been quite generous with it and using this to seal the canvas. This is a really important part. I don't use gesso very often, but particularly for this purpose, this is going to stop you using a ridiculous amount of paint to pop your image onto the page and to colour around it. So by using your clear gesso first of all, then let it dry. You can then put white gesso over it if you want to. I chose not to in this case, but it'll just help. Oh, I did make a liar out of me, Niamh. So I have put white gesso over, and you can see I'm not having to put that much gesso on. If I had not sealed that first, one, it would have taken a while to paint because it just wants to soak up all the paint and the moisture and you get quite scratchy lines on it. It's not going to spread as well over your page or over your canvas item either. So whether you're doing shoes, bags, aprons, pencil cases, whatever it is, same process. So once I've gessoed it, I'm then going in with my gel medium and gluing down my canvas image. I've got canvas on the brain. Collage image. So this one's a beautiful one from Natalie May Scrapbooking. I think it was released in June. She's got some amazing collage images at the moment, so go check them out. But what I'm doing is using the colours in the background as inspiration. So I sort of got this like splash of colour around it. So I am trying to replicate the colours using the paints that I've got. I'm doing away with the paints. So I'm going in with Tangelo and burnt sienna. Then going in with a little bit of night, I think, and possibly marine. And just adding the paint as I go and sort of building up the colour. And I had lots of fun doing this. It's a real challenge to try and replicate backgrounds and replicate colours, and it's one that I really love to do. One of the things I've found when I'm doing it is to actually paint over the image itself and use your paint to sort of blend it out is going to give you a more seamless transition between the paint and the image itself. So be a bit brave and paint on your image as well. And that will sort of help it all blend together. So I'm using quite a small brush and being quite particular about where I'm putting the paint. I'm also getting a bit brave and adding in colours that weren't necessarily there before. And yeah, just having fun basically. Didn't know really where it was going with it, but I think originally I'd sort of wanted to have it a bit of a splat, but because I ended up putting that sort of strip of blue on it, I needed to put in a background of some sort. So once I've sort of finished doing my face bit, I'm then going to kind of paint in a background once I've figured out what I've got on TV in front of me. So trying to choose the right colour blue and blend that together. So the good thing about working on canvas is it does stay wetter a little bit longer. So it does give you a little bit more opportunity to sort of blend things together. So obviously there is still quite a harsh line between that deeper blue and the light blue that I chose. So I needed to work through that a little bit. I'm going in now. After drying it off, I'll put in sort of another layer of colour and some stenciling over the top to kind of blend it together. So it's a really useful way to extend out the colour. So I'm using the marine that I used in that big strip, and I'm using it sort of like patterning as it comes out over the top. Then I'm using a smaller version of that stencil to add in some darker blue. So it's sort of, I've still got that light blue in the background, but I've helped it look sort of more like an explosion coming out from the back, if that makes sense. I then decided I wanted to add in a contrasting blue colour on the other side, so I'm going in with some watery turquoise. So I didn't want it full on paint, I just wanted it sort of to be there. Because I already had that orange there, I was able to wipe it away so that I could get that pop of orange coming through as well. And I've obviously continued stamping over the top too. And again, just like I did on the other side, I'm going in with a finer stencil with some lighter paint, just to again blend it together a little bit. So what you do on one side, sort of take over to the other side. It gives you that impression of the paint belonging there. Just to help finish it off, instead of having just this big white strip at the end, I'm finishing off painting her face. So just putting in a little bit of a skin color there. Then I'm going back in and adding in some of those splats and adding some of that extra paint back in again, just to bring back that brightness. There's a bit of messing around and a bit of playing around, but keep going until you're happy. And there's no real right or wrong with how you do it, which is the great thing about it. And you've got the model there underneath to give you a little bit of inspiration, to give you a little bit of guidance of what you can and can't do on the page. I then am going in with a little bit of the orange and blue gloss sprays, just to put a little bit of splatter over the back. And that really helped out, particularly with the face, just giving that little bit of splatter over the top of it, because it is sort of like that paint explosion across her face. So by having that splatter, it helps add that detail to the image, which I didn't necessarily have before. So on some of the areas, I've just blended out some of the blue, just to help it go together. I have also added in a little bit of gold. I thought it just needed that David Bowie touch. And it really did kind of finish it off, make it look more like a lion mane. So once it's all dry, it's still going to be damp because it's on canvas. It does take longer to dry, but it's dry enough that you can sort of work over the top, particularly with paint pens, to get that extra detail. So putting in some of those highlights, adding in some of that really white pop to it. While I was doing this, I decided I wanted to put a bit of a quote on it, and I was trying to work out how. So I broke into my Natalie May foam stamps, because they were just the right size. And I'm just trying to work out what I could put on and what would fit across the page. So I decided Be Brave would be a good one. And then you'll see the other side, which I did later on that night because I got carried away. I really loved what I did in this side, and I've got Be Bold on the other side. So I'm just using my white pigment ink from Hero Arts. If you don't have a white pigment pad, this one's an awesome one. It's very, very bold. Otherwise, use some white gesso. So using your foam stamps on paint works really well. Just wash them out afterwards so you don't have the foam stamps going hard. So that's my finished part of my pencil case. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Please have a go at doing this technique because it's so much fun, makes beautiful gifts to give to people, and you can personalize anything basically. So it's a good skill to have. Until next time, bye for now.